Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Very happy to have you here for our class on automating reviews with a fantastic system that Curtis is going to explain now. Curtis Davey is from Nice Job. I will introduce him in just a moment. I'm Maddy Martin, the host here. I am the head of growth and education for smith.ai. We are a 24/7 virtual receptionist service. We answer calls, chats, texts, Facebook messages now too. And we do that around the clock, weekdays, weekends, nights, weekends. You tell us when you need us and we will plug right in. We answer calls. We also make outbound calls. We can even ask for reviews from your adoring clients and customers. So we will talk about that a little bit later. But Curtis, really wonderful to have you here. You and I have chatted many times and we've taught a few classes, and I'm really excited to do a deep dive. I think we all know the value of reviews. We're not going to waste your time telling you that reviews are important. What we want to do is make it easier for you to more consistently capture reviews at that time of peak excitement, which is a concept that you first introduced to me, a longtime marketer, but I had never really heard anyone put it so perfectly. So tell us about those sort of conditions that best set us up for getting 5-star reviews, and then how to use those reviews that we're getting on our website, in our marketing materials, to attract more clients in an automated fashion more consistently. So let's hear a little bit about you and your company, Nice Job, and then feel free to share your screen and drop some knowledge.
Thanks, Maddy. Very much appreciate you putting this all together. And for all of you here watching with us today, I'm thankful to be able to drop some knowledge with you today. And I'll try to keep it as engaging and entertaining as possible. If you have any questions, feel free to chime in at any point. So I'll try and address them as we go along, but I'll also try and keep it dynamic and quick. I have been accused of speaking far too quickly sometimes, so I'm going to try and do my best to keep it low, keep it slow, and make sure that you all can understand me in my weird Canadian accent. So as Maddy explained, I'm from Nice Job. We are a reputation marketing company based out of Vancouver. And I like to emphasize marketing because we're really trying to define this as a new field. Reputation management has been the way that, typical services like ours have been described as thus far. But we think that's a little bit 20th century thinking. We're in a brand new 21st century. There's lots of new tools and lots of new approaches to not only acquiring reviews, but most importantly, leveraging those reviews to help you grow your business, attract new clients, attract new sales. Because ultimately, you've been working so hard your entire lives to build your business, to do a great job for your customers. And if you're not getting those reviews and that word out from those current customers, people will never know the great job you're doing and the great services you provide and how amazing your company is and how much they should really be working with you. So a bit about Nice Job. We're based in Vancouver. We have employees all around North America. We are agnostic in terms of industry, but we are definitely predominantly in professional services, some home services, travel and tourism, health and wellness. Ultimately, our tools can be used for any B2C or B2B business because the process is very similar. You're always trying to hit that customer with a review request at the moment of peak excitement or as close to that moment that you think they're most likely to leave a positive review. And then we help you through automation tools and through our software platform to leverage those and share those around. So we're about a 4-year-old company, but growing very, very rapidly. And if you check out some of our reviews online, you'll see that all of our customers absolutely love us because most importantly, we love to take care of our clients. We are right there in the trenches with all of our businesses to make sure that they're set up for success from day one and that they know everything they need to do to really find success in their specific niche, whether that be geographically or specific to an industry. So I'll switch over here and I'll get started on a bit of a screen share. So I'll take you through my little deck presentation. It's, nothing fancy, but hopefully gives you a little idea. For those who are visual followers, you can follow along with some of the things I'm referencing. Here we go. And voila. So, as I said, we are all about helping you to market your reputation, not just management. We can help you with that to leverage your reputation to acquire more sales, more leads. We like to say that we're about 3 times as effective as our competitors at about half the price. but of course it depends on who you're working with and what field you're in. As we say, reputation management is the old way of thinking. It's all about social listening. It's about waiting for your customers to leave you a review and then maybe sending them a thank you or responding to that, or just helping a business understand, what people are saying about their business. And absolutely, that's still valid. That's still very important. And any business should be listening to their reviews and actively following them along to see what kind of feedback you're getting from your customers. But we go a step further and we help you to market yourself with your reputation. I like to use the term, you can define your own reputation, in fact, because if you can go out and choose, what it is you want to be known for, once you start hearing that back and that being echoed back in the reviews of your customers, you're on something, it's working, and your marketing is working. So the more feedback you can get and the more you can start to listen and leverage those reviews, the better you can start to market yourself to new customers, new industries, so on and so forth. So we're really trying to define that new category. Where we're trying to be a lot more proactive with our approach in helping a business to capture that review, but more importantly, to define that reputation before you even go out to that customer's service site or before you provide that product. So we break that down a little bit further. Define your reputation. What is it that you want to be known for? Deliver that amazing experience. So if you're focusing on one key aspect of your business, make sure it's that key aspect that is related to the way you want to be defined or the way your reputation wants to be defined. You'll want to prime your customers. So there's a great little example I'll show you in a second, but priming can come in various forms. Of course, that can mean, prompting them to your website. That can, of course, mean any kind of in-person interactions you have. It can be including specific key messaging in your emails. There's lots of different ways you can prime a customer for them to feed you that feedback you want, or more importantly, echo the reputation or the aspects of your business that you want to have echoed to new customers. Of course, you want to capture that review, make it super easy for the customer and obviously easy for yourself as well, because it shouldn't take a lot of effort for you to capture a review. And then most importantly, leverage it.
So Curtis, let me just ask you a question before we move on. So this is exactly what I was going to ask about. So defining your reputation, if you move back to that first, part A there, exactly, defining your reputation. And maybe you have the next slide on it, which you can definitely go to. This is an area where it can be so hard to just pick one. Do you segment out your customer base, your client base, and can you choose multiple of these, or do you really have to just choose one?
No, absolutely. I mean, every business has multiple products and services for the most part. If you want to really define and get granular with it, that's definitely an exercise you can work towards, or really try to start right off the top. You can really try to figure out what it is you want to be known for with a specific industry customer, with a specific service you're offering. It of course runs the gamut depending on the type of service you offer, the type of business or industry you're in. But ultimately, you can choose to either focus on one key thing that covers your overall business that you want to be known for, the best customer service as a company, the cheapest price as a company. There's a number of different ways you can really define that. Or you can get more granular with each individual product and service. You can even do that with each individual employee. If you know an employee has particular strength that you want to try and have echoed, so that that employee can then act as a sales leader for you because they take care of the customers, they're great at onboarding, or they're great at winning cases. There's a number of different, obviously, a plethora of potential options and variables there. But you can get very, very granular if you so choose, and we can definitely discuss how to get into that a little bit further.
Okay, because one of the things that I'm thinking about is in Buffalo, we have, as I'm sure many people have heard of, Celino and Barnes, a very famous law firm, a lot of personal injury firms. Buffalo is a very litigious city, as I've been told. And we see a lot of sort of, maximize the results from those sorts of campaigns. We also see law firms that say number one in ethics, and we see insurance companies say the red shirt experience. They're not saying 5 stars, but they're evoking that 5-star experience by aligning their brand with it. So in what way can you use sort of that experience as a mark of a 5-star quality that almost incorporates multiple points here?
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up 5 stars, because there's definitely a little bit of a myth, in every industry, that you want to be striving for 5 stars all the time. And certainly that is the case for the most time. But I can honestly tell you that 3 and 4-star reviews are not a bad thing.
Hmm.
Customers love to see those because it shows that you're a real company. You know, like most of the time, if a customer sees a flawless 5-star review or rating across all of these various platforms, Google, Facebook, etc., it's almost a red flag. You know, you start asking yourself some questions like, why is nobody giving this company a 4-star? And why is nobody giving this company a 1-star? Customers love to see bad examples because it shows, and it certainly allows for you as a business ways to highlight how good you take care of your customers. Because if you can even respond positively to a 1-star review the same way you do to a 5-star review, it shows that you're a great professional company, you're accountable, you really take care of your customers and your reputation. You know, 4.9s, 4.8s, 4.7s, everything above 4 is still a great reputation. And we've never seen a customer or a business lose a customer for having anything less than that. So don't be afraid of 4 stars. Don't be afraid of 3 stars. If that brings down your average a little bit, it's great. So be it. 5 stars, people often start thinking that this is bot traffic, that maybe they fake these reviews. Having, you know, 4.9 or anything lower than a 5 is actually shows a little bit more authenticity.
All right, now Smith AI customers, don't go like lowering your reviews for any reason. We love your 5 stars, but I think that's comforting that, you know, you want to aim for averaging, let's say, over 4.5, but don't panic if you get a 3 or 4-star review. Take that as an opportunity to show professionalism in your response, and then you can convey your reputation you're trying to, you know, convey more broadly.
Yeah, so it's number of stars aside, to get into the specifics of the review content. Yeah, for those law firms that are known for their ethics, I mean, a 4-star review with a great customer story about how well they took care of them, how, you know, professional they were in their mannerisms and in their, you know, offerings. Those are the key to any review, is what the customer actually says. And the more you can get them to explain their customer story themselves in the review, the better it's going to be for you, and certainly the less work you have to do in sort of telling that customer story at a later date. I definitely recommend, and I'll showcase this in a little bit, how you can take a review, even one with no text, and still create a customer story around it to really provide some context, to really humanize that review in a way that customers and future customers know you can take care of every different situation. You can take care of your customers no matter what, even if they're giving you a less than a stellar 5-star review. It's cool. You know, I myself very rarely give 5-star reviews. You really have to earn it. You really have to fight for it. But anytime I do, it's a huge mark of a thumbs up and a verification and a vouching for that company that means a lot. So besides, you know, defining your reputation, so when you're starting, or even if you're, you know, well established as a company, try to define what it is you want to be known for. Customer service, professionalism, ethics, results, price, it doesn't matter what it is, but that's something you're really going to want to deliver on each and every time going forward. So of all of the areas of your business to keep focusing on, ensure that whatever you're doing, you're delivering on that experience time and time again, because of course, consistency is key, and to be known for something, you'll want to have to deliver it multiple times over. It can't just be one or a handful of your customers or of your 100 reviews. You should be seeing the majority of those reviews referencing that specific area that you're looking to focus and deliver on. So I mean, focus extra hard on it as much as you can. And I don't want to say perfect, but make it flawless if you can. Make it as good as possible, and make sure whenever you're training your employees and your team, always continue to drill down on focusing and providing an exceptional experience in that one area or multiple areas, depending on, as Maddy referred to, if you're drilling this down into specific customers, segments, or products.
So I want to, you know, touch on one thing here, because I know we have a lot of attorneys, financial advisors, even people who are in the IT space, who are in the marketing space, who run agencies and consultancies. And what do we know? That, you know, not everything is under your control. You don't control all the levers for how your business is going to do. If you run a marketing agency and your ad campaigns are working well, but your client never picks up the phone, that's problematic. If you have, you know, a client for your law firm and the divorce has 2 parties, let's say, you know, you're not necessarily completely in control of the outcome there. So how do you, you know, focus on delivering exceptional experience? You know, those are all the things that you can control.
And even when you do get the bad review, you know, maybe if there is something outside of your control that has resulted in a 1 or 2-star review or a scathing, you know, comment from a customer, dealing with that review can showcase just as much about your company and your reputation as the review itself. You know, everyone sees bad reviews. It's never a deal breaker for a customer who sees a 1-star review, because, you know, everyone knows there's a few of those customers out there that are just a little bit off. They're having a bad day. They're venting it on your company, or, you know, that experience was not the norm, but the exception. So if you can respond to that review in a way that showcases your professionalism, your accountability, provides a solution to that customer to potentially rectify it in any way, shape, or form, or even just acknowledging that you made a mistake, those are all things that really win bonus points and brownie points with any future customer seeing it. And maybe that customer will never join you again, and that's unfortunate, but you can definitely still turn around a potential future customer who sees that negative review into saying, wow, these guys really do care. They are taking care of things. They're acknowledging any faults they may have done themselves. Or, you know, even if it is something outside your control, you can tell the story in your response to that review as to why this was an unfortunate outcome, not entirely under your control, but you're willing to, you know, do what you can to make it work. Or, you know, you've maybe made some adjustments internally to try and bring some more control, or to, you know, ensure that it never happens again, essentially.
Yeah, just really quickly, one of the things that we've sometimes found to be very effective is to lay out the facts and then also sometimes confirm if it just wasn't the right fit. You know, that's a very polite way of saying maybe the expectations were unreasonable going in. But if you lay out the facts, how you attempted to do what's right and make it right, and you just decided to part ways, or, you know, yes, it's correct, you know, we were not able to serve this need because we typically don't serve that need, you know, that can be a good way to diffuse a situation of a negative review as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely recommend responding to all reviews, but most importantly, negative reviews, because you want to be able to tell your side of that story in a professional way, in a way that acknowledges whatever pain or experience that customer has had, but, you know, providing your side of the story. Priming the customer, my favorite slide, just because I get to highlight this example, which hopefully is still relevant to everybody. But to prime the customer essentially is to provide different touch points with them, and at every touch point you're wanting to hammer home what it is that you're looking to define in your reputation. So if it's great customer service, include that in your emails. We provide ourselves on great customer service. If it's a phone call with your customer or through smith.ai, have that person mention that we pride ourselves on taking care of our customers. Please let us know if there's anything else we can do for you. If it's price, you know, we're the lowest priced options. Whatever you can do to hammer home that message time and time again is going to more likely result in that message being echoed back to you. So I've included all these screenshots, and this is from the movie Focus with Will Smith. So I don't know, maybe 10 years or so ago. But essentially, they're able to get a guy to choose the number 55 player because at several points throughout the day, they've used and primed him with the number 55. So it's the same example with your customers. You want to continue at every touch point and every sort of stage of the sales journey, indicate and you know, parrot essentially what it is that you want to have them echo back to you in those results. So as much as possible, prime your customer with that, and they can always go right up to that final moment for anybody who's, you know, having a final sign-off call or a you know, final report on the services and product you've finished and your work with that customer is done. Even just in that last contact point, say, we pride ourselves on taking care of our customers. We pride ourselves on our results. If you're in a moment, you're going to get a text message or an email from us asking you for a 5-star review. We hope that you'll take the 30 seconds to a minute that it takes to respond to this and you know, provide us with a review, because it helps us immensely with our business. We're a family-run company. We are, you know, a company of 40 years. Whatever it is you can do to tell your business's story in that moment will be great in terms of priming that customer to leave you a review. And like I said, if you can have them echo back what it is you're really striving for in your own reputation, you know everything you have is working. So then, to capture the review, as I mentioned, once you've primed them, once you've taken all of the care and attention you needed to get them to that point to leave your review, you want to hit that customer with that first touch point and that first review request at the moment of peak excitement. So if it's a service just being provided, the moment that they're most likely to be loving the result that they just got, whether that be just winning a case or just getting their taxes and a refund back, just, getting a new service or product enabled to them. That's that moment when they're riding that post-purchase high, and we all get it, whether you're shopping on Amazon or buying a Christmas tree. It's that moment right after you bought something that you're just so excited to try it, you're so excited to use it. And if you've had a great experience, that's the moment that the customers are A, most likely to leave a review, and B, most likely to leave a positive review. So the closer to that moment of peak excitement that you can get, the better, goodwill, the better sort of willingness you're going to have from a customer to give you that review. So once you find them, you can also optimize that experience for them. So with Nice Job, we have a series of tools that allows that message to be optimized so that once that customer leaves the click or leave a review link, it not only can recognize what platform that customer might be logged into on their device, and it removes that roadblock. So essentially anything that they have to log into, any additional steps they have to take to leave that review is going to be one sort of more step that they have to take to do, and one, percentage point less likely they are to leave a review. So with Nice Job, we can optimize your messages so it automatically recognizes what device they're on. It also gives you a plethora of options to leave a review on various different sites. So you can give that customer the ultimate choice to choose a site that they're most comfortable with. And then a worst case scenario, if they're not logged into Google, they're not logged into Facebook, they go through all the options, they don't really want to leave a review on any of those. We also have the Nice Job review section, and that's basically an internal area where they can leave a review without any logins, without any need for extra clicking or anything. And at least then you still have some great feedback from a customer. You still have a review that can be leveraged in all of our automation for publishing, be that to your websites, to social media, and you can still turn that into a great, compelling customer story for you to share in all of your future marketing. So automation is obviously key to that. We integrate with a ton of CRMs, business softwares, QuickBooks, payment softwares. So whatever we can do to sort of facilitate that review request being triggered automatically in your normal business process is something we strive for. So we've definitely designed Nice Job as a set it, forget it system so that once you're fully enabled with automation, you don't have to come back into Nice Job to know that it's working. You don't have to know that your reviews are being automatically leveraged and shared and marketed to your new customers because it's all taken care of already through our system. If there's ever a site or a product, a software that you use that we don't currently integrate with, including through Zapier, let us know what it is. We're always happy to reach out to that company to try and enable something custom for that customer, for that platform, or discuss how we can get them on Zapier to enable something in the short term. Or ideally for us, we love to build native integrations. So something that's going to really add some value, create some value and stickiness long term, so that whatever you're doing in that regular business software can automatically be triggering review requests, but more importantly, have some of that data from the review requests funnel back into your system so you can start to action and leverage those reviews, more importantly, in your internal processes as well.
So Curtis, you mentioned that you do have integrations with CRMs, obviously, QuickBooks as well, but of the most popular CRMs that you integrate with, I think you mentioned the other day that you now integrate with Clio, which is obviously legal specific. What are some of the other most popular CRMs that you integrate with?
So we definitely see Clio, QuickBooks, Stripe is another one that we integrate with. Zapier for everything else. A lot of our integrations are, specific to the home services industry. So if any of you or your customers are using home service companies or softwares, that's definitely a big facilitator for that. Responsibid is another one, and that's sort of a bidding software. Again, not necessarily relevant to the professional services, but for many other service businesses. But for the most part, Zapier will be a service that will integrate with a lot of other CRMs. But if there, like I said, if there's any others out there that you guys use that you're curious about, send us a message. I'll happily reach out to them. If you let them know that you're also looking to integrate with Nice Job, that certainly helps, but by no means is necessary. And yeah, we love to build an open ecosystem to provide that two-way data sharing so that you're not only helping to trigger review requests, but that data is coming back into your system to be able to leverage it for employee vetting, for pay for performance potentially, if you're looking to really include reviews sends and reviews sent and reviews received by individual employees in your KPIs for them. That's another great way that can be leveraged.
Okay, and there was one question about Daylight. It looks like the best way to integrate with that potentially is to go on Zapier.com. Is that right? Or do you know about that one specifically?
Yeah, go to Zapier. If you search for Daylight, check them, and they have a profile that'll give us an idea. But basically, if you're on Zapier or they're on Zapier, there's a high likelihood, 90% and above, that we'll be able to facilitate that review request automatically through Zapier. It's easy. Our team can help you set up that Zap. Let us know if there's anything specific that we need to do, or the functionality or the context around that, and we'll make sure that it's the right case and the right trigger points to enable that.
Great.
So then once that review has been captured, like I said, we love to automate it, and we love to more importantly, get that review leveraged to get out there and marketed with. So we can automatically publish reviews to your website and your social media accounts. Here in the middle, you'll see a great example of our Engage Social Proof widget, which pops up in your website every 13 seconds to show either a recent review, and that shows the platform that's been left on, the date that it was received, so customers know, was it left an hour ago, a day ago, a week ago. They can see how relevant and how recent that is, which is great. Likewise, for new bookings, if you have your CRM or business software enabled, we can showcase any new bookings that you might have booked in a recent time. So both of those have shown to increase website conversion rates by about 15 to 20%, which is great, because essentially what it does is validates that customer's purchase decision when they're on your website. Any kind of PPC or SEO or SEM advertising that you're doing, once that customer hits your website, that's the one moment that you want to really convince them to get in touch with you, whether that be for a quote, for more information, or to book your services. We often talk about, the 3 ways to grow your business is find new customers, sell more to those customers, or I can't remember what the third one is. But the fourth one I'd like to add there is convert your website.
Tell them to bring in new customers, right?
Yeah. Because more importantly, if you're leaving, customers on the table, so to speak, and you have 100 customers visiting your website any given day, but only 1 or 2 of those is actually getting in touch with you, that's 98, 99 customers that you could have been selling to that you weren't. So anything you can do to increase that website conversion rate through, SEO, through, of course, social proof like this, or through our reviews widget, which I'll show you in a bit, that goes a long way towards, increasing not only the effectiveness of your paid advertising, but also the amount of money and the lifetime value that those customers are going to bring you.
So Curtis, just one question before you move on. With respect to some places where some businesses that have privacy concerns, for example, a law firm, financial advisor, maybe medical related business, health business, they may not want to show the booking specifically or the full name of the reviewer. Is it possible to not show bookings or to limit the personal information that's displayed?
Absolutely, yeah. We can definitely not enable bookings if you don't want to have those appear in the Engage Social Proof widget. As you can see in this example, we only share the first name of Doug and not the full information. So there's definitely some manipulations that you can do and some customization you can do with those widgets to, choose and enable some privacy settings essentially. But essentially, if that customer has left you a review, it's out there publicly somewhere. So by showcasing it on your website, it's not doing much harm because the customer's already voluntarily left that review somewhere with their full name or whatever account it is that they've used. And certainly if their account name is different than their actual name, it's beneficial to them and you don't have to worry about it as much. But just knowing that that review is out there publicly means you're kind of in the clear in terms of reusing that review in any kind of your marketing, because it is already, by their de facto having left that review, they're giving you consent to share that review elsewhere.
Right. No, I mean, maybe you can even prevent conflict checking if you just can detect the last name or IP address and not have 2 spouses hit the same law firm.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, that makes sense in terms of the reviews, and that's nice that you can remove the booking display.
Yep. And then, more importantly, so the widgets are great, but the more you can do to create those compelling customer stories, the better. So our reviews can be automatically published to Facebook, to LinkedIn, to Twitter, to Google. But you can go a step further, and this is definitely an area of a bit more manual process in the back end, but it's great for somebody to do either in the marketing department or the office manager to once a week go in, choose 2 or 3 of your best 5-star reviews or however often you think you get them. If they haven't added a photo at the time of the review request, which you can do as well, is include a photo in the actual review request, and that has also shown to increase conversion rates by about 10 to 15%. But you can add that photo after the fact. So if I got this 5-star from you from Doug, and I had a great photo of, maybe a photo we took with the technician or the employee, the lawyer, the accountant, or just a great photo of our business, there's a great, idea of sort of using several 5 to 10 images that you've taken of your company to include in every review request, just because it adds that little bit of personal touch, that familiarity. But you can also do something a little bit more custom like this. Take a photo of your happy customers. And oops, got ahead of myself. and have the 5-star review. And then you can also add a compelling customer story. So you can speak to why, how long you've been serving Laura Stark as a customer. We've been servicing Laura and John for 20 years. They were one of our first customers, and they're still with us to this day. That's a testament to our, care that we take care of our customers, et cetera, et cetera. There's a number of different ways you can tell a really compelling customer, whether that be, the loyalty that you have with them and your customers, the challenges you might have overcome in enabling that product or service for them, or even just a simple message of thanks. Thank you, Laura. We loved servicing you for the last 20 years. We appreciate you as a customer. And all of those go to create a really compelling story. But not only just that for social media and for your website, but it can actually then be converted into an ad. So whether you're doing this in-house, you're working through a marketing company, you can send these materials to your advertiser and say, here's a review, here's a customer story and a photo, turn this into a Google ad, turn this into a Facebook ad. And it's great on Facebook because any social story that goes out like this can be at a moment's notice, click to promote, and you have that across Facebook as a really compelling and most importantly, highly converting ad that's going to attract a lot of great customers because you have the photo, the story, and a great 5-star review from those customers.
And it looks really natural and organic.
Yep. Yeah, it's literally coming from the customer and you're just providing that extra context. So the customer's telling the story, but you're providing the additional details, which go a long way. So to jump into Nice Jobs products, I'll take you through a demo here in a moment, but just to give you a quick overview, our two main products are our reviews product and our convert websites. So our reviews plan is just a regular reviews product. It's certainly our bread and butter, what we're known best for. It helps you capture the leads and reviews through automation, through our iOS and Android app if you're doing things a bit more manually, or likewise desktop. And we have various widgets that come with it for free, as well as a microsite. So you can showcase all of your reviews in one place. You can enable the review sharing to your website and to your social media through the free widgets, as well as that engaged social proof widget. So with all of our integrations on the front and back end, we enable this to be automated to be totally done without your need to come into Nice Job on a daily or regular basis. You can showcase all of those. Unlimited users per account, so no matter how many employees you have, you can add them into an account number to either send and receive review requests, or even manage a bit more of the back end and the managerial duties in terms of sharing, or enabling new integration platforms, or maybe changing some of the settings that you have. Prices start at $75 per month per location. And that's up to 2,500 review requests in a year. So if you're servicing more than that, it increases by about $20 per 250 or 2,500 customers, pardon me. But still very much affordable. Like I said, about half the price of all our competitors and 2 or 3 times the effectiveness. Convert websites, our websites are named after what they're intended to do, and that is essentially to convert website traffic. We guarantee that our websites will convert 10% more of your website traffic than your last website, or it's free until it does. And if you don't have those numbers handy, we guarantee at least a minimum of 4% conversion rate, which is about double the industry standard. Most industry websites from any industry will convert around 1 to 2% of website traffic on a monthly basis. We guarantee we'll hit 4 until it does. Our websites are turned around in about 2 weeks or less, so super fast. The process is simple. You fill out a basic questionnaire form with as much detail as you can provide for us to get a general understanding of your messaging, the type of services you provide. We schedule a 30-minute consultation call, dig into some of the real details, some of our approaches, and some of our sort of mock-ups. With your feedback, we go and we complete that website in about 2 weeks. All website changes, all website additions or modifications are included for free. No worries about that. They are fully on-page SEO optimized, so you're ready to go from day one. Definitely, any website can benefit from some off-page SEO backlinks, and I can explain that in more detail if anybody needs. But they are fully baked in, ready to go from day one. We have a $345 setup fee, and they are $100 a month after that. And if you want CMS access to allow you to sort of manage a blog or photos on the website, we can do that, or extra landing pages or pages for $15 a month on top.
So Curtis, a couple questions have come through. I think people are shocked by how low this price is.
Yeah.
Are you saying that you're going to design a website from scratch, or if you just use the reviews component, that will integrate with your existing website?
No, reviews, the product is separate and will definitely integrate into your existing website no matter what you use. So if you're WordPress or something custom, or you've paid $10,000 for your website, our reviews product and our widgets will be able to enable and integrate into those seamlessly without much effort. The convert websites come with all of those elements baked in, of course, but the convert websites is a custom website fully designed from the ground up, specific to your company, for the $340 setup fee and $100 a month. And we do that because we know that, there's a lot of website developers out there who take advantage of their customers by promising fancy websites that are no doubt beautifully designed. We know that website designers do a great job at designing websites, but what they don't do as much is focusing on the actual conversion rate and the call to actions. So in all of our websites, you'll see big call to actions wherever it is, a lot of keywords to focus not only on SEO, but to provide the customer with a clear understanding of what they're doing. So they land on your website, they want to know you are the best rated in your area, or the cheapest in your area, or that you're the best customer service company in your area. They know how to get in touch with you by email, by phone, by social media, by chatbot if you have that enabled. And more importantly, we give them a breakdown of your services, what they can expect from your services, and a lot of compelling imagery to sort of showcase you guys. We love, we can use stock photography, but we love to be able to use custom photography to showcase you, your team, your offices, whatever it might be. We want to give that customer that personal and authentic touch. And
Awesome.
yeah, we can give you as much access as you want if you want to play around with it, or you or your team, or we can manage all that for you as part of the fees.
Okay, so I want to move on to the demo because I absolutely love the way that the system is set up and I want everyone to see it. But two quick questions, because you opened a big can of worms when it comes to websites. So there are a lot of pain points here. So the first question is, do you or does the client own the website if you ever part ways?
We do for the first 2 years, and then after 2 years, you can walk away with everything we've designed. And that's because they're so cheap, we obviously want you to use it, we want you to love it. But if you were to leave before 2 years, that's sort of all of that design work and all of that thing that's gone into it. The value that we've built up over that 2 years is sort of the price point that it takes for you to walk away with it. So after 2 years, it's yours. Before then, we can give you some of the messaging, we can give you some of the elements, but you're not able to just take that site and move it somewhere else.
Okay, that makes sense. And then the last question here, and we can move on, is if people visit nicejob.co, can they see examples of websites that you have built, that the team has built?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a few examples on the website itself. Anything else, get in touch with our team. We'll be able to send you a laundry list of websites.
Awesome.
We've literally designed thousands over the years, and it's these websites that we've designed that have been able to allow us to refine our design practices to really ensure that we can provide that guarantee. Because more than anything, it's about being able to review the data and sort of the traffic and the experience of your customer on the website so we can refine it, continue to improve, and make sure that we're hitting those marks, because our guarantee and our reputation is on the line as well.
Totally. That makes sense. All right. So let's see inside of this thing.
Yeah, I'll just give a quick rundown on the breakdown and then we can jump right into the demo. So we have a 14-day free trial, which you can happily extend to 30 days for anybody who might have a longer sales cycle. We also start off with a welcome call. So once you sign up for that free trial, our customer success team will reach out to you to make sure that you're fully enabled. We'd love to help you get all your integration set up, your Zap set up, social media connected. Any questions you have about the platform, about reviews in general, our team can take care of during that time. We can get into some team training once you're on board to help you understand how to leverage it for your employees. Likewise, for our employee leaderboard or for internal KPI measurements and so on and so forth. You even get them set up to be able to use the iOS app or Android app if they're doing something a bit more in person and using the manual app. And then, of course, we love any feedback you can provide and any requests you have for new integrations. Like I mentioned, we'd love to go after those new platform partners to bring the ecosystem and widen the ecosystem even further, make it all the more powerful and automated for you. So I'll jump out of this, jump into my screen share. Are you guys seeing my app okay now?
Yep, looks great.
Awesome. So this is the Nice Job homepage. Essentially, this is where you can see all of your reviews in one place. Also, if you're using the iOS app or the desktop app, you can request your reviews here very simply with the customer name, email, and phone number. Like I said, you can also include the photo at the time and any other information, which also, if you're connected with your CRM, will help update your CRM as well. Once that information is in, add an invite, and the message is off to them. From these, you can see the review platform they've been left on. You can see the customer's name, the review rating, his review response. And if you've published that to your website and or social media, you can actually see the reach of those posts as well. So it'll give you an idea of how many eyeballs you've actually reached with those sharing. You can also see some tags here. So if you were to go in and edit the story, this is the manual process I was talking about in terms of including or creating more of a customer story and a really compelling, 3-piece post. You can add some geo tags, some content tags for added discoverability engagement on the site. And this is where you can tell your story about, thanks, John, for your continued service, or whatever it is that you want to sell about that customer. Once that's saved, it updates everywhere it's published. This is also another great function that I'd like to highlight about Nice Job that as far as I know, is exclusive to us. Let's say you have SK as your customer's name in your CRM, and oftentimes firms do use initials as sort of a privacy function. But the customer has left a review under the name KNS702. Obviously, there's no correlation between those two, but our system is smart enough that I can actually see, based on the IP address, the time of the day the review was sent and received, that this is in fact the same person, or at least a high likelihood. Going forward, if it's 90% or more confirmed, and it checks 5 or 6 out of the boxes that we have, this will happen automatically, but for now it's still manual. If you were to click this button, it basically allows the campaign to stop so that your customer SK won't continue to receive any more follow-ups, which is annoying, of course, to them. And of course, it updates your CRM so in the future, if this customer ever leaves a review, it is in fact from your customer SK. So it's definitely a unique function to make sure that the customer doesn't get annoyed and that your CRM continues to stay up to date. But as you see here, all of the reviews that have come in with their platforms, you can also filter here by sentiment and platform, and of course by customer and or employee. Through your people tab, this will basically showcase all of your customers in one place. I'll give this a quick refresh. So you'll be able to import your customers here, or this can be done automatically through your CRM. A simple CSV import will import all of your customers' information. You can either use our template, which has all of the columns formatted, or all you just need is these columns in your Excel sheet to import. Our team can definitely help you do this in the setup and welcome call as well. But throughout that, you can see the processes they've taken, so which ones have been invited, which ones have left your review, and any actions they've taken. So we can actually see, has a customer received the email? Have they opened it? Have they clicked the link? So this is some great functionality that you can work with through smith.ai, that if you see that a customer has gotten to the end of their campaign, has clicked the messages, but hasn't actually, or opened the messages, and hasn't clicked the review link, maybe you can do a quick follow-up call to see why that was, engage them with a little bit more personal experience to see maybe, how they had some trouble with the platform, or was it that they didn't have a good review to leave, whatever it might be. But when they have left a review, you can see what that review is, how many people have been reached, and have you reached a specific goal of getting that customer's information. And of course, you can update and modify their information here, which will of course update your CRM as well. And if there's ever a customer you don't ever want to send a review request to again, you can easily block them or delete them so that they don't get included and re-invited to a review request at any time in the future. Our campaigns, this is campaigns V2, which will be available to all customers very soon. But the big difference between current campaigns and future in the campaigns V2 is this recommendations tool. So you can create reviews campaigns for each individual product and service you provide. So you can create a campaign for a separate product, a separate service, a separate employee. So you can customize that messaging accordingly. And each of these messages is completely customizable. It looks similar to that. You can add some conditions and some rules in terms of when this invoice or when this review request actually hits the customer's, is sent to the customer based on a specific automation or even timing. And you can edit this information as you see fit. And likewise, you can set multiple of these so that a customer is receiving a review request that is very specific to that employee, to that job, or to that service that you're providing to them. But it also allows you to add a recommendations follow-up. So once a customer has left a review, if you so choose, you can follow up with that customer to leave you a recommendation. And this would be either by forwarding an email to their friends, making a social media post, and you can even use our little widget, which if just include that in any kind of message, the customer will get a little prompt, say, hey, I think you'd love this company, check them out. And if you so choose, you can also include an incentive. So you can offer 10% off your next job, a $25 gift card to Amazon, any kind of incentive you so choose, but that's totally optional up to you. And again, you can set all of the rules and criteria so that you can really customize how these campaign messages are being sent to customers and when. Quickly going over insights, you can see all of the success you've had using Nice Job on the platform, the individual campaign messages, and how well each of them have done. So if you want to see conversion rates for each of your messages, how well a specific text has been doing, you can definitely see all that. And this demo account has always been slow.
So I think, while that's loading, Curtis, I've seen the page that you're going to show us. So I have the benefit of asking you sort of a question. in anticipation of it. But how do you know? I mean, I think we all saw you have an SMS, you have a text message as the very first part of that drip campaign for the reviews. And then you've got 3 emails.
Yep,
So
yep.
what is it about texting? I mean, especially if you have clients who are, busy professionals, if you're an attorney, does that look sort of like, it's too much of a millennial approach to marketing? Does that turn people off? Does it just perform so well that you can't ignore it?
Yeah, texts are great. Obviously it depends on the demographic of your customers, but we find text message to be really compelling and highly converting, because essentially that's the moment that you can really, everybody has their phone handy on them. They seem to respond much more favorably to text messages than to emails. Conversion rates have historically been dramatically higher on text messages. We see usually a 50% conversion rate if we can hit that customer at the moment of peak excitement. And that's because they get that message, they click it, 2 clicks later, they have a 5-star review for you. It's also the ease of service. Any customer who always has their phone on them, and especially if you're prompting and priming them for them to receive that text message, it's shown to increase conversion rates dramatically. We have a customer who in his first year got over 500 reviews, which is 16 times more than any of his closest competitors, by priming the customer and then hitting them with that text message right after he leaves their house or right after the job is complete. And that's been proven to be highly, highly effective across the board. So let's see if I can get reviews to actually show up this time. Maybe not. So I'll switch over to the settings, and this is definitely where all the magic happens. Here in your company profile, I hit refresh again. You guys have those Apple mouses that sometimes you slide sideways on and it goes back? I should really disable that.
You're allowed to be human.
Yeah.
Totally okay.
So with our company profiles, if this information matches your Google My Business profile, it automatically syncs up all of your Google accounts, because we are a Google partner, so it helps facilitate that Google partnership a lot more seamlessly. You can include your logo, which will be included in all of your review requests, as well as any reviews that are being published automatically without a photo. Your company team, you can invite as many company and team members as you want. You'll only have one owner access, and he's the only person that will have access to the financial details of the account, but everyone else will have the ability through manager access to access specific settings, and team members can only send and receive review requests. The product settings, definitely where all of our integrations happen. So you can see here all of the native integrations we have currently: Intercom, Clio, big ones for most professional services, QuickBooks, Stripe as well for financial services, and most of these other ones are related to the home services industry. Your social media, of course, you can choose the minimum star criteria that you are publishing reviews to. So anytime you get a review, obviously you don't want to be publishing 1 to 2-star reviews to your Google and Facebook accounts, but you can choose 4 or 5 stars and above, and whether they are auto shared or not. LinkedIn is definitely an underrated platform in terms of where you should publish reviews to. A lot of B2B business discovery is done through LinkedIn, and if you can highlight your reputation there, it goes a long, long way towards a customer reaching out through that platform. All of the various review sites we have, obviously the big 2 are Google and Facebook, and those are the 2 we default to by nature. But if you so choose, you can sort of change the priority of these different sites. So we've chosen to prioritize Capterra a little bit more because we are a software company. It's a great place for us to collect reviews, and definitely recommend that for any other software companies out there. But for others, these are all great places to collect. Yelp, we have a love-hate with Yelp because they are very much a closed platform. They are a closed loop. We don't recommend collecting reviews there as much because viewership and traffic to Yelp has been declining greatly, but they're also very much a pay-to-play platform. So even if you get 5-star reviews on Yelp, they oftentimes charge you to showcase them, or likewise, if you get 1-star reviews, they charge you to take them down. With our optimize function here, as I mentioned, you can actually recognize what accounts a customer might be logged into on their device, and it'll prioritize those. So if they're already logged into Google and they're already logged into Facebook, it'll show those 2 as number 1 and 2. Likewise, if they have Better Business Bureau or Home Advisor on their account, those will be prioritized as the top options to, again, remove those roadblocks and make it easier for a customer to leave a review without needing to log in anywhere. We also have review.new, which is fantastic because review.new is a Google suffix. The .new is specifically owned by Google, but we've purchased the review.new from them. So you can include review.new anywhere on any of your marketing materials, on your website. This is an easy place that once a customer clicks that, it takes them to this microsite where it automatically brings up the review request tool. As you can see, one click to Google brings up your account, your company name, and immediately takes you to the review platform so you can leave that review. So within 1 or 2 clicks, essentially, they're on the place where they can leave you an excellent review and include a photo or not. And that applies for any of these previous sites as well. If you wanted to click other options, or as I mentioned, a nice job is a great place to collect reviews when you don't want your customers to have to log in and Google or anything else. Our recommendation settings, this is what the widget would look like when a customer clicks it. Again, you can choose an incentive or not. A lot of different sort of customizations you can use with that. Likewise with our widgets, when you're looking to enable engage in your website, you can choose left or right position to show it on mobile, whether you want to include bookings or not, and then some JavaScript editing you can do here to further customize that. Our stories widget is the one that will allow you to automatically publish reviews to your website, and that can be done with all the stories, which of course is the photo, the customer story, and the review. It can be all of just the photos. It can be all the reviews with photos or all reviews without photos. And that can be grid or single column. There's also a lot of customization you can do here to have, if you have sort of an overarching group website and you want to showcase reviews specific to an individual location on those individual landing pages, you can customize reviews to a specific employee, you can customize them to a specific location, and you can do some other customization in terms of how that widget actually appears in your website. So it's great, it's very flexible, works great. The third most popular is, of course, our trust badge, and that showcases your overall review score across all of the various platforms you have connected and how many reviews you have overall. And if you so choose, 3 recent of the reviews with a minimum star criteria that you've chosen, so 4 or 5 stars and above. We also have the collect reviews widget if you have a landing page or a point of sale terminal or anything in Office that you want to try and collect reviews at. Great for a little laptop or iPad. Likewise for an event landing page or anything custom to a specific time period. Likewise for our collect leads widget, and of course goals. So this is a great way to sort of engage and gamify the experience either for your employees internally or for your customers to help you reach a specific number. And we certainly have all those, 20% of your customers that are real fans, really engaged and loyal customers. They're really great to get involved in that. And you saw the microsite already. So I'll see if I can get back to insights here for a quick sneak peek at the reviews.
And Curtis, did you mention LawPay as one of the payment integrations that you have?
Not at the moment, no, but if that's one that's requested, I'm happy to reach out and try to make that happen if it's not already available through Zapier, of course.
Okay, I can make that introduction for you.
Okay. Yeah, that review, the insights doesn't seem to want to work, but that's because we have, this is a site where we've used for 10,000 plus review requests, and it's loading very, very slowly for us because it's also a test account. But individually, you'll be able to see out of the text message and 3 follow-up emails, what the conversion rate is. As I mentioned, the text message can convert around 50% of the time. The 2 subsequent messages will convert around 20 to 30% of the time. And the 4th and final message, which appears as if it's a real personal call to action from the owner of the company, it actually increases the conversion rate back up to 40%. And that's because not only of our follow-ups, which of course have reminded them over 2 weeks, of the various requests were in the request view. But after that 4th and final message, it's a very personal call to action. And if they don't leave a review request on that, we don't follow up with the customer for up to 6 months after that. You can, of course, choose to enable that review request to hit them again in that time period. But we found 6 months to be a sweet spot in terms of the amount of times you service a customer and how often you want to try and follow up with that customer for that review request. So that's it. No more questions about the platform. I'll close that screen share and we can get back more on any questions or details.
Yep. Sorry for interrupting you so much, Curtis.
I'm glad you did. It allowed me to take a breath.
If you mention websites, you get a lot of people who jump to attention. So I think specifically, if you could show a couple websites that you have done, if you want to share your screen again, or point people to where on the Nice Job website they could find the examples.
Sure thing.
Sort of putting you on the spot here, but if you don't mind.
So I can pull up a few. Okay, I have definitely 2 from the home service industry world. I'll see if I can find one that's a bit more professional service based. I know there was one recently, I just can't remember it. Going back into the screen share. Let me know if that's coming through okay.
Yep, that looks great.
Perfect. So this is one of our carpet cleaning customers. Things to highlight here, obviously big call to actions at the top. You want to make it real easy for them to find your phone number, to actually reach out through that phone number. So you can call directly through your computer. You can book online through a booking form, and that takes them directly to any booking form they have enabled, which through this customer is through a third-party service. You can see your specific services at the top here, but most importantly, you use the keyword. So your location and keywords that oftentimes come up in Google searches. So cleaning company in Vancouver, highest rated, all things that rank very highly in Google. You can see the social media, the engaged social proof widget in the bottom left here popping up every now and then. You see again, major specific keywords, always specific to the time, the specifics of the company, things that make the company stand out in terms of the customer story, the business story. It's a husband and wife team, locally owned business, really striving to make their community better, to grow their family and their business. You can see things you can expect, some highlights of testimonials. Again, a very detailed process of what they can expect when they're getting a carpet cleaning done. They have a guarantee, they have their accreditations, including the Best Service Award, and we often do a quarterly award for all of our businesses for best rated law firms, best rated accountants, bookkeepers, service awards in terms of home service companies. With the COVID experience, we sort of modified that a little bit and did a community service award. So those who have used their business and their company in the local area to really improve their community, which was really well received.
And Curtis, can you work with Calendly or Visita, any online calendaring tool that the client prefers, the business
Absolutely,
prefers?
yeah. We can slip in terms of the booking. We can have that booking and go to any third-party service to slot, seamlessly into whatever platform they use.
And is there an extra charge for those extra pages, like having the, different services or reviews pages, or is it all just one long scrolling page?
No, different pages as well. I think the 3 pages come with the platform. The reviews page is always free because that's obviously a benefit to us as well. But up to 3 pages, and that usually covers most websites. Additional pages, as I mentioned, is an extra $15 per month, but that's still quite affordable. But for the most part, everything can be captured in one page. And then the reason for this is because obviously a lot of scrolling these days is done on mobile.
Mobile, right.
Single page websites are phenomenally effective for capturing mobile traffic. For those, we often have big easy buttons to click. So if you are looking for membership, it's somewhere on a button here on the main page, so that they don't have to go to that little 3-bar button in the corner. They can just find it as they scroll and find those extra pages easily.
The little hamburger menu, right?
Exactly. The hamburger.
Can we see the law firm website, if you don't mind? And then while you're showing this, can you also speak to whether or not the users are able to manage their own websites? Can they edit content, or is that control completely under your team?
They absolutely can. CMS access if they want, complete control over their blog, their photos, any kind of text changes. That's an extra $15 per month. Otherwise, they can email our team or call our team, and we can make those changes in the same day. So we're happy to do all of that stuff for free as part of our service. But if they want to manage that themselves and have that CMS access, it's an additional $15 per month.
And ask yourself if you really need to manage that, or if you can hand it off to a capable team, because we know the secret is in delegating more and more. So this is actually really nice to look at the different navigation here. It's quite different from the cleaning service. So it's a really nice example of, look, we've got 3 locations. We have much more real estate given to the reviews, very different look and feel. So we get a sense for the range of the design styles that you have available. It's really nice to see that. And we're almost out of time. So let me say, I will follow up with everyone here. I will provide in the video notes for the recording, which will be on YouTube. It will be in your email if you signed up for this live. And you can forward it on to anyone. Curtis's contact information, obviously visit nicejob.co, and you can email him directly at curtis@nicejob.co. And please do get in touch. Any other questions that you have, if you want to send them to me, I can pass them on to him, but you're welcome to email him directly. And the recording will be posted on YouTube for those of you who are asking. I am going to publish it as soon as this is over, so it will be up this evening. And I appreciate everyone attending. Thank you for staying with us for the hour. If you missed some of it, no worries, we've got the full recording and you can watch it later on your own time. If you have not yet started using Nice Job and Smith AI together. We can help you make the most of those campaigns. We can help you get those reviews, follow-up calls after you've sent a text and email for those clients who might be just busy or distracted. It's the holiday time right now that we're recording this, but we know there are plenty of other things that keep us busy throughout the year. We can follow up with a nice warm touch using your phone number so that we appear on caller ID with your business number to show that we're reaching out, ask questions. We can even send them a follow-up text or email with a link to write the review. So we can build that in for you. It's a new service that we're adding after calls to have that post-call text and email sent. So ask us about that. There's no long-term contract for us or for Nice Job, at least for the reviews. And for the websites, Curtis, is that month to month or is that okay?
Yep, month to month as well. But like I said, if they want to take the website with them, it'll have to be a minimum of 2 years before they can walk away with a complete design.
Got it. Well, the cost is outrageously affordable. So we understand that you have to have some barrier there, but really fantastic service. Thank you so much, Curtis, for giving us a peek into the system. And I hope everyone here will take advantage of these resources.
Likewise, I hope it wasn't too boring, and thanks for paying attention.
Not at all. Thanks. Take care, everyone.